I have a big heart, and Meredith is a good girl.
A boss offers to help make ends meet.
I didn't have the money for school clothes, and she said, let me take Meredith shopping.
And she did.
And it was said, don't worry about it. You're not paying for it.
Now, this struggling mom's in a deeper hole.
When for the first time did Miss Spaulding ask you for any money for them?
The day after she pretty much said, I no longer work for her.
Judge Judy.
Miss Spaulding, the defendant used to work for you. You own a pizza shop?
Yes.
And there came a point while she was in your employ that, according to you, you made an arrangement with her that you would take her daughter clothes shopping. While she was in your employ, that according to you, you made an arrangement with her that you would take her daughter clothes shopping for school, and she would reimburse you for what you spent, because she
Yes,
said
ma'am.
she didn't have money for school clothes for her daughter. You did that, and that's what your lawsuit is about.
Yes, ma'am.
For the money that you spent for her child for
Yes, ma'am.
school. I assume that's you. Right? Ms. Richmond said that there was never an agreement to pay you back for the clothing. She would never have spent as much money as you spent. And she has a counterclaim because she said sometime subsequent to that, you fired her. So her lawsuit is for wrongful termination. Ms. Richmond, I'm going to start with you. When did you begin working for Ms. Spaulding?
For Miss Spaulding was on approximately,
Month and year.
it would have been April of 2018.
And in what month did your daughter need school clothes?
She would have started school around August the 9th of this year, and they went and got the school clothes
Just a
around
second.
July the 12th.
Before you went to work for her, did you know Ms. Spaulding? Were you friends?
Before working for Miss Spaulding, I worked for her husband for a year and a half.
In another pizza shop?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
A different one or the same one?
Different one.
So they have two pizza shops?
Yes, at the time they did.
How many times prior to April of 2018, when you started working for Ms. Spaulding, had you seen her?
A couple times a week for a couple of years.
And had she ever met your daughter?
Yes. My daughter would come down there with me to sometimes and sit and work or whatever.
I'd like you to tell me, Miss Richmond, how you first broached the subject with Miss Spaulding about your daughter's clothes.
I didn't approach the subject. I was in a very upset mood one day when I went to work. Miss Spaulding asked me what the matter was, and I told her that a lot of stress, school was fixing to start, I didn't have the money for school clothes, and she said, let me take Meredith shopping. She said, I'll get her some school clothes. I do not have my granddaughter this year. I would love to spend money on Meredith for school clothes.
Let me take her shopping for school clothes. Don't embellish it. Let me take her shopping for school clothes. And she did. And that was in July.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor.
Shh.
Okay.
She took your daughter for clothes. Your daughter came home with the clothes?
Yes.
In July, you saw them all.
Yes.
When, for the first time, did Miss Spaulding ask you for any money for them?
The day after she pretty much said, I no longer work for her.
Just a minute. What date was that?
August 23rd.
Between the time she went shopping in July and August 23rd, had she said anything to you about the money for the school clothes?
Anytime anything was said about it, it was, don't worry about it, right? Don't worry about it.
No, I want you to tell me what was said. Miss Richmond, don't say don't worry about it. If there was a conversation, I want to hear about it. She took your daughter shopping. Your daughter came home. You saw the clothes. You had to have gone into work the next day and said that was wonderful. She was very happy. That's what a normal parent would say.
I said that those clothes costed way too much money. I would have never spent that kind of money on school clothes.
And
And
so
it was said,
just-
don't worry about it. You're not paying for it.
And she said, don't worry about it. And that was the very next day.
Within a couple of days, ma'am.